Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Race 28 of 29. Two more races to go in this 1992 NASCAR Winston Cup season. We're here live at Phoenix, Arizona at the Phoenix International Raceway for the PYROIL 5K. This is a 31 turn race. And let's go over the championship here. You got Alan Kowicki leading the points over Davey Allison by 101, Harry Gant by 103, Terry Labonte by 163, Bill Elliott by 186, and Rusty by 219. The other two TV drivers in this race is Morgan Shepherd, who won last race, and the King, since this is his last year in NASCAR and his final race at Phoenix. We're making him a TV driver for the final 15 races, his last time at each racetrack. So let's get down to the starting grid here in Phoenix. And on the pole, in sixth place in points, is Rusty Wallace. Outside pole is Sterling Marlin in the 22. Starting third is Alan Kowicki, the points leader in the 7 car. Starting fourth is Rudd in the 5 car. Starting fifth is Irvin in the 4 car. Starting sixth is Mr. Spencer in the 98. Starting seventh is Kyle Petty in the 42. Starting eighth is Mark Martin in the 6. Starting ninth is Schrader in the 25. Starting 10th is DW in the 17. Starting 11th, right beside him, is his little brother, Michael Waltrip, in the 30. Starting 12th and second in points is Davey Allison. Starting 13th is the 10 car of Derek Cope. Starting 14th is Mast in the 1. Starting 15th is Brett Bodine in the 26. Starting 16th is Musgrave in the 55. Starting 17th is Jarrett in the 18. Starting 18th in the Budweiser number 11 is Bill Elliott, who finds himself 5th in points after last race. You got the 19 starting position is Earnhardt in the 3. 20th is Jeffrey Bodine in the 15. 21st is Bobby Hamilton in the 68. Starting 22nd in the 21 is Morgan Shepherd. Starting 23rd is Hensley in the 66. Starting 24th, his last race here at Phoenix, Arizona, is the King, Richard Petty. Starting 25th is Strickland in the 12. Starting 26th, finding himself 4th in points is Terry Labonte. Starting 27th is Dallenbach in the 16. Starting 28th is Porter in the 37. Starting 29th is Trickle in the 8. Starting 30th, finding himself in 3rd place in points, is Handsome Harry Gant. Starting 31st is Lake Speed. Starting 32nd is Never Nervous Jeff Purvis. Starting 33rd is Cribbs in the 99. Starting 34th is Jimmy Means in the 52. Starting 35th is Barkdale in the 73. Starting 36th is Marcus in the 71. Starting 37th is Bill Sedgwick in the 75. Starting 38th is Smith in the 49. Starting 39th is Klausenbach in the 90. Starting 40th is the 48 of Hilton. Starting 41st is Hornaday Jr. in the 92. And shotgunning last for this Phoenix race is Skinner in the 13. As we go to the green flag here, Rusty Wallace will lead us to the green to start turn number 1 here at Phoenix, a 31 turn race. 300 and some miles, 500K. Here we go. And we right away got a duel, and it'll be the 6 cars in the middle group. That's Earnhardt and Bill, and they're going for it. Here comes Earnhardt, going to take on Mark Martin. He gets him, puts Mark in a bad spot. See if Mark can handle this. Here comes Bill after Kenny Schrader, and he gets Kenny and goes from 18th up to 9th and gets a chip, and again puts Kenny in a bad spot. This track minus is 1 for repair, but escape stays the same, so it'll take a 8 for Mark Martin not to wreck. And he's fine. And how about Kenny? Kenny needs a 5. He ain't going to be too happy with Awesome Bill if he wrecks here. And he barely makes it with a 5. We go to turn number 2, folks. Turn number 2 here at Phoenix. And we get a middle group of control. Here we go with control, folks. First up is Mark Martin with a 3-3-2. And Rudd holds him off. Next up is Ted Musgrave here with a 3-4-4. And he gets Ernie Irvan, goes from 16th up to 5th. Next up is Brett Bodine in that Quaker State 4 and with a 5. He ain't going nowhere. Here comes Rick Mast in that Copenhagen car with a 1-6-4. And he's going to get Cal Petty and go from 14th up to 7th. Here comes Derek Cope in that Purolator number 10. And a 5. He's not going nowhere. Here's Davey in that Haviland Ford with a 2-3-5. And he's going to get Ricky Rudd and go from 12th up to 4th. Cracks the top 5. Here comes Mikey with a 4-2-1, ain't going nowhere. Here comes DW, Big Brother, with a 1-6-6. He's going to get 7th away from Rick Mast. Rick doesn't stay there long. Here's Awesome Bill from Dawsonville with a chip and 2 chances. And a 4-6-4. He gets DW without using his chip. And now he's got a shot at the lead, folks. And it takes a 3 to get Rusty without using his chip. A 4-3, and he gets her done. Awesome Bill goes from 8/10 to start this race to the lead. He's definitely going after it, folks. He wants to win this race and get himself back in this championship battle. He's hanging on by a thread. Here comes Earnhardt with a chip. A 3-6-4, and he gets Rusty. Rusty was just leading this race, folks, and now drops back to 8th here on turn number 2. As we go to turn number 3 now, Awesome Bill in the lead. Marlin, how about that? Junior's got the first 2 spots in this race, 1st and 2nd. And we roll the right dice, it helps. And we got a middle group of skill in the middle group. Who's got the skill? Mark Martin's got skill. A 5-2-6, and he gets Alan Kowicki, drops him back to 19th. Ken Schrader's got skill. 4-1-1 ain't going nowhere. Jarrett's got the skill. A 1-1-6, he gets Sterling Marlin. So much for Junior running 1st and 2nd. As that Gibbs car gets up to 2nd. Here comes Swervin' Irvin, Ernie Irvan, with a 3-1-4. And Jarrett doesn't stay there long as Ernie takes over 2nd. Knocks Jarrett back to 16th. Here comes Cal Petty in that mellow yellow Pontiac. Not going nowhere with a 1-5-1. And here's DW. He's got 2 chances here. Could get the lead from Awesome Bill with a 5-2-3. And 1, 2, 3. Mark Martin holds him off, so he'll get a 2nd chance with a 4-1. Ain't going nowhere. Here comes Rusty trying to get back up there. Our pole sitter, not with a 1-5-1. He won't. Turn number 4, folks. And we got a top group of skill in the top group. First one is Mr. Spencer. Takes a 6 to beat Bill. 1-5, he holds him off. Here comes Davey, 2 chances to get Bill. 6-3, the wrong 6. 4-1, no. Here's Mark Martin coming after him. And a 3-6, Bill will have to use his chip to hold him off. Here comes Ernie Irvan. and a 6-3 holds him off. We go to turn number 5. And we got a bottom group of heat and a problem. First, we'll do the heat. First up is Mike Skinner with a 3-2-6. And he gets the other Mike, gets Michael Waltrip, and goes from 42nd up to 11th. Here comes Charlie. Not with a 6, he's not. Here comes Never Nervous Jeff Purvis. Not with a 4, he's not. Lake Speed in that 83 car. And Lake has a problem. He's got he smacks the wall for repair. It takes a snake eyes for Lake to stay in this race. And Lake will be the first car out of the race. He'll finish 42nd. Speed hits that wall and can't get it repaired. Alrighty, here comes Mr. Gant. Needs to get out of the rear with the gear with a 3-2-6. And he's going to get Mike Skinner. Mike doesn't stay up to 11th very long as Harry Gant moves up there. Here comes Dick Trickle. And he's not going nowhere with a 6. Wally Dallenbach. 3-6-3. And he's going to get Alan Kulwicki. Alan does not have the heat quality. Wally Dallenbach goes from 27th up to 19th, and Alan's not doing very good here early in this race. Here comes the king. With a 5, he's not going nowhere. Jimmy Hensley with a 3-4-4. And he's going to get Brett Bodine and go from 23rd up to 15th. Here comes last week's winner, Morgan Shepard, with a 2-1-1. He probably ain't going nowhere. We'll check. No, Harry holds him off. And last one back here is Brett Bodine with a 2-1-1. And DW holds him off. And now we'll see who has the problem back here. And it'll be Randy Porter with the problem. What kind of problems Randy have? 26. He's got an electrical problem. He needs snake eyes to stay in this race. And he gets a 1-3 almost, but Randy will finish 41st. Second car out of the race. Randy Porter out of the race, along with Lake Speed. Everybody will just move up. And we'll have 40 cars running here. You got Elliott in the lead, Irving second, Martin third, Allison fourth, Musgrave fifth, Spencer sixth, Earnhardt seventh, Wallace eighth, Waltrip DW type ninth, and rounding out the top 10, you got Rick Mast. As we go to turn number 6, folks. And we got a top group of TV in the top group. And there's only 2 TV drivers. One of them is Allison, the other's Bill. Takes a 6 to get Bill. And a 6-2, he holds them off. We go to the first pit stop of the race. See what happens here. We'll have a middle group 5 and 4 switch. So we'll just move Earnhardt up since nobody else in this top group can get a chip. And switch 5 and 4 back here. And we'll grab a few chips. Let's see if anybody in the middle group, how their crew does here on the first pit stop of the race. First up is going to be Rusty Wallace in that Penske car. See if they can come through in that Miller Genuine Draft. And they do. DW is up next in that Western Auto Park Rick Hendrick car. And he gets a chip. Rick Mast needs a 7 in that Copenhagen car. He doesn't get one. Harry needs a 9 in the Skull Bandit. He gets a chip. Ricky needs a 9 in that tied car. He doesn't get one. Cope needs a 7. He gets one. Jarrett needs a 6. He doesn't get one. Sterling needs an 8. He gets one. And Kyle Petty needs an 8. He gets one. Mr. Hensley needs a 6. He doesn't get one. What's Kenny need? Kenny needs a 7. He gets one. And last but not least is Wally back here needs a 5, I believe. Hi, Philip. No, he needs a 6. And he doesn't get one. So we'll move these guys up. And we'll see if anybody can beat Bill out of the pits here. Uh, 6-1. Ted Musgrave gets the lead. How about that? Jasper's car. Nice pit stop by the 55 crew. Gets that 55 car up front for the first time today. So we go to turn number 8. Musgrave in the lead. Earnhardt second. Irvin third. Martin fourth. Allison fifth. Spencer sixth. Elliott 7th. Wallace 8th. Waltrip 9th. And Harry Gant rounds out the top 10 as we go to turn number 8. Cool, buddy. So we got a top group of smart. Who's smart enough to get the lead here? Alrighty, first up is Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. It takes a 5 or 6 to get the lead from Ted. A 3-2, nope. Mark Martin, smart. And not smart enough. And Ernie Irvin's double smart. Let's see if he's got this done here. Not with a 3-3. Gets another chance, though. And a 5-6, he gets her done. How about that? He puts that 4 car up here in the lead on turn number 8. And Earnhardt smart with the chip. And it'll take the chip to get it done, but Earnhardt gets the lead here on turn number 8. So we make our way to turn number 9. And we got a middle group of star and a problem. First, we'll do the star. First one up is Dale Jarrett with a 5-1. Ain't going nowhere. How about Ricky Rudd in that Tide machine? Not with a 6, he's not. Here comes Kenny Schrader, his teammate, with the chip. A 4-2-1. He'll have to use his chip and gets third away from Ted Musgrave. Goes from 14th up to third. Here comes Kyle Petty with the chip. 4-4-3. And he gets marked without using his chip. Kyle Petty goes from 13th up to the top 5 up to 4th. Here comes Sterling with the chip as we lose the dice here. And it's a 5-2-4. And he's going to get Kenny without using his chip. Goes from 12th up to 3rd. That puts both the junior cars in the top 10 for now. And that's it with the star quality. So we go to turn number 10, 100 miles down here. Hi, Tim. And we get a top group of trouble in the top group. Here we go. This could be the big one. Could be a big one. First up is Earnhardt. Needs a 10 to escape. He gets it done. Ernie needs a 6. He gets it done. Sterling needs an 8 not to use his chip. And he barely gets it. Kyle Petty needs an 8 not to use his chip. And he'll have to use his chip to avoid wrecking. That means if these next 3 cars all wreck, Then we go to the middle group. Otherwise, it stops up here. First up is Davey, needs a 7. And Davey's involved in the wreck. The yellow flag comes out, folks. Yellow's on the track. Davey's wrecking. Is anybody going to join him here in this wreck? Next up is Jimmy Spencer, needs a 9. And Jimmy makes it through. And Awesome Bill from Dawsonville needs a 10. And he barely gets it with a 10. That means everybody else will move up. Just a 1-car wreck. See if Davey can get that Haviland Ford fixed and back out on the track here at Phoenix, Arizona. Alrighty, we're still in the beginning of the race here. Davey is 11 minus 1. He needs a 10. Get this car fixed. And he does. He'll drop back to 40th, but at least he's still in the race. We go to turn number 12 now, folks. As the green comes back out, we got Dale Earnhardt leading this bunch, followed by Ernie Irvin, Sterling Marlin, Kyle Petty, Jimmy Spencer, Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, DW, Harry Gant, and rounding out the top 10 in the 10 car is Derek Cope. We get a bottom group of Heat in the bottom group. First up is Charlie Glossenbach. Charlie with a 3-1-1, and Harry holds him off without using his chip. Here comes Never Nervous Purvis. Jeff Purvis with a 1-1-3. And again, Harry's able to hold him off without using his chip. Mike Skinner with a 1-6-5. And he's going to get Mr. Jeffrey Bodine and go from 28th up to 19th. That brings Dick Trickle up next with a 5. He's not going nowhere. Here's the king again. And he's not going nowhere with a 5. Brett Bodine, rather, with a 1-3-2. And he's going to get Ted Musgrave, go from 22nd up to 13th. And the last one back here with Heat is Morgan Shepherd with a 6, ain't going nowhere. And that's it for turn number 12. On to turn number 13. And we get a top group of Star and a Problem. First, we'll do the Star. And here comes Bill after Earnhardt. It takes a 5 or 6 to get Earnhardt. A 3-6. Bill gets the lead back. That's what he needs to do. He needs to win this race and lead the most laps here to get back in this championship battle. He's still mathematically in it, but barely. Next up is Kyle Petty. Takes a 6 to get Bill. 2-2 ain't happening. Here comes his teammate with a chip coming after him. And a 2-1. No team orders here. Sterling's going to use his chip and get the lead from Bill. Bill's got to be a little upset. Sterling's out of the chance for the championship, but he wants to win. And here comes Mr. Irvin. Takes a 5 or 6. He's got 2 chances at Sterling. 3-3, no. Second chance. 1-6, and Sterling gets the lead. Junior's cars are running second and third, but out in front now is that 4 Chevy of Ernie Irvin taking snapshots in that Kodak car. And now let's see who has the problem. It's Never Nervous Purvis. Jeff Purvis has a problem. A 65. And that is black smoke rolling out from underneath that hood. And that'll end Jeff's day. Since we're in the middle part of the race, they won't have enough time to get that engine fixed. So Purvis will finish 40th. Just the third car out of the race here at Phoenix. Alrighty, we go to turn number 14, folks. Getting close to the halfway point. And we got a middle group of Smart. Who's Smart back here? Wally Smart with a 4. Ain't going nowhere. Here comes Dale Jarrett in that Interstate Batteries car. A 225. And he's going to get Bill. Go from 16th up to 3rd. That's not what Bill needed. Here comes Ricky Rudd with a 242. And he's going to get Mr. Spencer and go from 15th up to 5th in the 5 car. A lot of 5s there. Rick Mast. Not going nowhere with a 5. How about Brett Bodine? A 3-4-5. And Rudd's not going to stay there long as Brett gets up to 5th. Knocking Rudd back to 13th. Here's Mr. Mark Martin with a 1-2-3. And he's going to get Jared. Jared doesn't stay up to 3rd very long. Mark takes over that. Here comes Derek Cope with a chip. A 2-2-3. Mark holds him off, but he'll use his chip. That 3rd spot, nobody wants to keep it. Derek Cope's up there now. Here comes Mr. Harry Gant with a chip. A 4-2-1. And again, he'll use his chip, and Derek doesn't stay up to 3rd long. Sure. That's like jinxed, ain't it? And that is the end of turn number 14. On to 15 we go. Cross flags are out here at Phoenix. Halfway through this race, folks. Halfway mark. And we got a middle group of Star and a Problem. Star and a Problem. First we'll do the Star. Mike Skinner's up first with a 4. He's not going nowhere with a 4. Next up is Awesome Bill. He needs to get back up here with a 4-4-2. And Brett holds him off. Here comes Ricky Rudd with a 4-3-6. He gets Kyle Patty. Rudd up to 4th. Here comes Mr. Jarrett. Not going nowhere with a 6. Ken Schrader in that Kodiak Bear. Not going nowhere with a 4-1. And that is it. We'll see who has the problem. And it's Mr. Jimmy Smut Means in the 52 car. 34. He's tight on the track. He'll drop back to 38th. But at least he's still in the race. Everybody will move up. So we go to turn number 16. Just past the halfway point. We get a middle group of Reflex in the middle group. First up is Wally in that Keystone beer car. 6-1, he's not going nowhere. Here comes Awesome Bill from Dawsonville with a 2-5-5. He gets Earnhardt and moves back up to the top 10. Here comes Mr. Spencer. Not going nowhere with a 5. Here comes Jarrett. See what he can do in that Gibbs car. He's not going nowhere with a 5. Here comes Kenny Schrader with a 5-1-5. He gets Sterling, knocks Sterling out of the top 10. Kenny up to 2nd. Mark Martin trying to get back up front. And he rolls triples, folks. This year, he was supposed to be battling for the championship, and he has a brake problem. We're in the middle part of the race. It'll take a 6 for Mark to stay in the race, and of course he doesn't. Mark Martin will finish 39th, folks. Out of the race with brake problems here at Phoenix. Here comes Derek Cope in that 10 car, a PYROIL. Not going nowhere. There's a 5. Here comes DW with a chip. 6-5-2, and he's going to have to use his chip and knock Bill out of the 6th. We'll see who moves up here to the middle group. First up is Bobby Hamilton in that Country Time Lemonade car. And he'll move on up. Leaves us with 38 cars still running here at Phoenix. Right now you got Ernie Irvin in the lead. Ken Schrader second. Harry Gant third. Ricky Rudd fourth. Brett Bodine fifth. DW Darrell Waltrip sixth. Rusty seventh. Elliott eighth. Cope ninth. And Sterling Marlin's 10th. And we go to our second pit stop of the race, folks. Here we go. And we got TV drivers, and it's going to be 2 and 3 switching spots. So we got 3 TV drivers eligible here to get some chips. First up will be Mr. Harry Gant. And Harry doesn't get one. How about Rusty to get a second chip? And he does. Can Awesome Bill get a chip back here in 8th? Yes, he does. Let's see if anybody can beat Ernie out of the pits here. And a 2-2. Ricky Rudd takes over the lead in that Tide machine here on turn number 17. So we go to turn number 18 now. And we got a top group of TV and a problem. First, we'll do the TV. 2 guys with TV up front here. You got Rusty with the chip. Takes a 5 or 6 to get Rudd. And he'll have to burn one of his chips, but he'll get the lead in that Pontiac. The pole setter's back up front here on turn number 18. And handsome Harry Gant's got a shot at him. See what he can do. And a 4-2, no. Now we'll see who has the problem. And it's Mr. Jimmy Means again with a problem. This time it's a 43. He's got an overheating problem unless he's an A or a B. And he's not, which means Jimmy's going to finish 38th in that 52 car. And Jimmy's out of the race. And now we got Rusty in the lead. Schrader second. Irvin third. Gant fourth. Brett Bodine fifth. DW sixth. Rudd 7th. Elliott 8th. Cope 9th. And Kyle Petty 10th. So we go to turn number 19, folks. And here we go. We get a middle group of skill. Who's got the skill back here to get up front? Bobby Hamilton's got skill in that Country Time Lemonade. A 2-3-2. And Harry holds him off. How about Wally? Can he get that Jack Rouse Ford up front? Not with a 1-2-1, he can't. Here's Mr. Jimmy Hensley in Dale Yarborough's car, not going nowhere with a 6. Here comes Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer. 5-1-5-5-1-1 ain't going nowhere. Here comes Jarrett. What can Jarrett do for you? A 4-1-5, and he's going to get the whole way up to 2nd. From 13th is what Jarrett can do for you. Here comes Sterling trying to get back up in the top 10 with a 4-6-3. and Ricky holds him off. Let's see here. Here comes Cal Petty with a 1, 2, 3, and he's going to get Ernie Irvin. Up the third goes Cal Petty in that mellow yellow Pontiac. And last one was Skills Bill Elliott with the chip. A 1, 3, 6. He gets Harry Ganton, doesn't have to burn his chip. And that's it for turn number 19. Turn 20, 200 miles, 100 more to go here at Phoenix. We get a bottom group of skill in the bottom group. First up is Davey with double skill. He could make it up to the top group, folks, with a 3, 5, 3. And he's going to get Wally Dolan back and go from 37th up to 17th. Now let's see if he can get into the top group. Oh, triple fives, folks. Poor Davey is not his day, and he just blew his engine. Davey Allison out of the race. This might ruin his chance at a championship, sure. Allison out of the race, folks. And he was second in points, folks. Second in points. Blows up. Sure way. Here comes Mr. Ron Hornaday. First we talked about him with a 3.62. And Hamilton's going to hold him off. Here comes Mr. Smith, Stanley Smith. Yeah, I hear you, Tim. Yeah, the last few races, there's been a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. With a 3, Smith's not going nowhere. Here comes Phil Barkdahl. First we talked about him today, too. He's not going nowhere with a 6. Here comes Allen trying to get out of this bottom group with a 1, 1, 4. And he's going to go from 25th up to 9th. Sure, Allen flying up through here. How about that? And last car with skill back here is going to be Mr. Morgan Shepherd with a 2, 2, 1. And Ernie barely holds him off. Let's see if he can get up to the middle group the hard way here. And he does. Move everybody else up. As we go to turn number 21, folks. And we get a middle group of Reflex in the middle group. Okay, who's got the Reflex? First up is Bobby Hamilton. And a 4.31, he ain't going nowhere. Mr. Hensley. And that Trop Arctic car with a 4, 5, 5. And he's going to get DW and go from 16th up to 6th. Here comes Earnhardt in the 3 car, that GM Goodwrench car. Not going nowhere with a 6. Mr. Excitement with a 4, 4, 6. He's going to get Brett Bodine and go from 14th up to 5th. Here comes Ken Schrader now. That's Chevy with a 3.25, and he's going to get Cal Petty and go from 13th up to 3rd. And Alan Kowicki, 2 chances here. Could get the lead, folks, with a 4.26. Schrader doesn't stay there long. Now Ernie going after Rusty. Takes a 4 to get Rusty. And a 2-1, he don't get him. Here comes Harry Gant with a 2.61, ain't going nowhere. And that is it for turn 21. On to turn 22. Yeah, okay, Phil. And we get a duel, and that'll be the 3 car. That's awesome. Bill going after Jarrett to get a second chip here. And he gets her done. Bill gets a second chip. Puts Jarrett in a bad spot. It takes a 9 for him to escape. And he doesn't. Dale Jarrett is not happy with Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. He realized he's running for the championship and running crazy. But man, he just wrecked him. Everybody will move up here with the yellow coming out. Sure. I used to call Bill sometimes when he aggravated me, Cautious Bill from Dawsonville. He ain't running cautious today here at Phoenix. He going for it. Always wished Bill in real life was more aggressive and did stuff like this. Alrighty, let's see here. We're in the last third of the race. It'll take a 5 for Mr. Jarrett to stay in the race. He doesn't. Dale Jarrett probably going to have some words for Bill after this race. He will finish 36th. That takes us to turn 24, folks. And we get another duel, and this time it'll be the Ricky Rudd, and he'll be going after Alan Kowicki. And Rudd gets it done. This is ballsy. This is real ballsy. It takes a 9 for Alan not to wreck. If he wrecks the points leader, man, is there going to be some unhappy folks here. But Alan holds on to the car as we go to turn 25. And we get a bottom group of Control in the bottom group. Here comes Michael Waltrip in that Pennzoil Pontiac. Not going nowhere with the 6. Here comes Bill Sedgwick. I think it's the first time we talked about Bill today in that 75 car. Not going nowhere with a 4. Here comes Phil Barkdale with a 2.63. And he's going to get Morgan. Go from 27th up to 18th. Last week's winner's fading. Here comes Curbs. First time we talked about Joe. Yeah, every car for themselves. I guarantee it. That's the NASCAR of nowadays. Back here in the 90s, they did have a little more control of each other. They didn't body slam each other as much. Here comes John. See what John can do. With a 5, he's not going nowhere. Here comes Mr. Brett Bodine in that Motorcraft Ford with a 141. I doubt if he gets anybody, but we'll check. No, DW holds him off. And we go to Mr. Trickle with a 3.23. And he's going to get Brett Bodine, go from 24th up to 13th. Derry Cope in that 10 car with a 4. He's not going nowhere. Here comes Terry Labonte. Not going nowhere with a 6.1, the worst dive roll you can get. Here comes Hut Hut. Not going nowhere with a 5. And that is it for turn number 25, folks. 6 turns to go here on the turn number 26. And we got a top group of Reflex in the top group. First up is Harry Gant takes a 4 to beat Rusty. 1-1 ain't happening. Alan Kowicki gets 2 chances at him. And a 5-4. He burns his chip. Alan gets his second chance at him. A 6-2 ain't happening. Here comes Mr. Excitement with a 1-4. He's going to get him. Jimmy Spencer up in the lead here on turn number 26. And here comes Ricky Rudd with a chip. It takes a 4 to get Jimmy. And a 3-1. Ricky will have to burn one of his chips to get the lead. takes over the lead here on turn 26. Here comes Awesome Bill from Dawsonville with 2 chips, folks. And it takes a 6 to get Rudd. And a 6-6. Bill will have to use one of his chips to get the lead. A dreaded red 6. Bill gets the lead here on turn 26. We get to the next pit stop. Forgot to get rid of that yellow flag after Davey wrecked. Alrighty, here we go. It'll be the top group 1 and 2 switch spots. And let's grab some chips. See if Bill can get a chip here. That'll be 2 for him. He needs a 10. He gets it with a 9. Mr. Spencer needs a 6. He gets her done. Rudd needs an 8. He gets it done. Rusty needs an 8. He gets it done. Jimmy needs a 6. He gets it done. All these crews are coming through. Alan needs a 10. He gets it done. And last but not least, Harry Gant needs a 9. And he gets it done. They all got chips. Can anybody beat Bill out of the pits here? 3-2. And Rusty can beat him, but Bill's going to use his chip to hold him off. We go to turn number 27. We get a middle group of control. Bill better hope some of these guys got to burn their chips to hold on up here. First up is Ted Musgrave with a 5. He's not going nowhere. How about Phil Barkdahl? He just got up here. Not with a 6, he's not. Here comes Mike Skinner with a 5. He's not going nowhere. Here comes DW with a 2-5-6. He's going to make Alan Kowicki burn a chip. Here comes Dale Earnhardt with a 4-5-5. And this time, Alan's not going to be able to hold him off. He goes from 14th up to 6th. Dick Trickle's up next with a 4-3-3. He's going to make Rusty burn a chip. Here comes Kyle Petty with a 6-4. He ain't going nowhere. Here comes Sterling Marlin with a 5-1. He's not going nowhere. And last one's Rick Mast with a 5. He's not going nowhere. On to turn number 29, folks. Turn 29. We get another middle group, this time smart. How many of these guys are smart back here? Ted Musgrave smart, but not smart enough with a 5. Alan Kowicki smart. See if he can get out of 14th here with a 4-4-4. Triples for the points leader, folks, late in this race. 35 cars still running. This could be a bad situation. Triple 4s. What kind of problems poor Alan got? A 56. Kaboom! That engine just blew up. There's oil all over the damn place. Alan Kowicki, trying to get back up into the top group, blows up here on turn number 29. And like I say, folks, 35 cars still running. He's going to finish 35th. Caution comes out. Debris and oil all over the track. Alan Kowicki can't believe his bad luck. Sure. All righty, folks. That'll take us to a final turn. We'll have to move everybody up here. We'll have a white-green checker here. Sure. Alan Kowicki blows up 30 miles from the end of the race and finishes 35th. Here we go. The white flag and the green flag are both out at the same time, folks. Final turn of the race. Final turn of the race. Here we go. And it's going to be a top group of TV. That's Harry Gant and Rusty going after Bill. Here they go. Takes a 6. He doesn't get him. They'll burn their chips though. And here's Rusty going after Bill again. It takes a 6. And Rusty pulls it off and wins this race. Bill disappointed with that. Damn, he could have used every point he could get there. But Rusty Wallace wins again. And that Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac pulls it off. Thanks to that yellow flag coming out with Alan Kulwicki blowing up, folks. Your winner. And that Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. Rusty Wallace. One of the best looking cars on the track. How about that? I think that's Rusty's 4th win of the year, or 5th. 5th. He was tied with Bill with 4 wins. That's his 5th. Sure. How about this? Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer, finishes 2nd in his Chevy. Nice race by Spencer. Ricky Rudd in that Tide machine finishes 3rd. And awesome. Bill thought he had the win. Thought he had the win. And along comes Rusty and takes it from him. But he does pick up a lot of points on Allen blowing up, sure. So we will have a battle in Atlanta for the points lead. That's for sure. Truthfully, Harry Gant might have got the points lead here, folks. And that keeps probably Davey Allison in the battle too. But Harry Gant might have the points lead going into Atlanta. We'll have to check. Because he was only 101 behind Allen, I believe. 103. Davey was 101. So Earnhardt finishes in the top 10, 6th. And again, handsome Harry Gant finishes 7th in his Oldsmobile. Rick Mass in an Oldsmobile finishes 8th. And how about that? Junior gets both of his cars in the top 10 as Marlin finishes 9th. The 25 of Ken Schrader finishes 10th. Ernie Irvin finishes 11th. Kyle Petty in that mellow yellow Pontiac finishes 12th in the 42 car. Dick Trickle in the 8 Snickers car finishes 13th. DW, didn't hear much about him today in the 17 car. Western Auto Parts finishes 14th. Mike Skinner from dead last up to the 15th. Not a bad race for Skinner. Bobby Hamilton in the 68 finishes 16th. And how about this? Phil Barkdale in that 73 car. Phil finishes 17th in the top 20. Barkdale. Mr. Musgrave in the 55, who actually led here for a little bit. He finishes a disappointing 18th. And the King, his final race at Phoenix, Arizona, finishes 19th. Didn't really talk much about the King. He had a few opportunities and never really took advantage of them. The 12 of Hut Strickland finishes 20th. And Terry Labonte in the 94, disappointing day for him being in the points hunt, finishes 21st. Derek Cope in the 10 car. He was up front most of the days, disappointing with that 22nd finish. And the Bodine brothers in the 26, Brett finishes 23rd. And finishing 24th. And the 15 is Jeffrey. Not a good day for the Bodines. And from Chemung, New York. Cribs in the 99, old John, he finishes 25th. And Morgan Shepherd in the 21 Woods Brothers. He finishes 26th after winning last race. Dave Marcus still running at the end of the race, and that's abnormal here lately for poor Dave. He's always had a bunch of problems, but he's still running. And the 75 of Bill Sedgwick, he's going to finish 28th. The 49 of Smith is going to finish 29th. And old Charlie, didn't hear much out of Charlie today in that Junie Donlevy Ford. He won the race this year. I believe it was at Talladega on the channel. Have to go back and watch that. And the 48 of Hilton. I didn't know that, Tim, about Hermie Sadler. Cool. And Ron Hornaday, didn't hear much out of him today. Finishes 32nd. And Michael Waltrip in the Pennzoil car finishes 33rd. And last car still running in the 16 is Wally Dallenbach. But the big news of this race is the engine expiring on Alan Kulwicki, folks. So we will go to Atlanta with a tight championship battle. I want to thank Tim for showing up, Philip Reynolds for showing up here in Phoenix, Arizona. And we'll probably have the final race later on here today. It's only noontime. Get off here and get something to eat. And be back on probably later this evening. Again, thank you all for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Phoenix, hit that like button. And leave some comments about this race in this 1992 season as it comes to a close. Until next time, y'all take care.